point. Why I say that is, look as though the country is looking for 6 men in the opposition to put pressure on the government to resign. The journalists, people like you, and the others who is concerned, myself, and other Dominicans, have to get together with the opposition, and the churches should be concerned and get involved. The sportsmen, because all these things are going to affect us. You think like a penny you get in there every little day, come and give you $40, $100, and no work, and then the integrity of the country is going to be destroyed. And people sit down there and try to talk to defend Prime Minister when he does stupidness. He lies consistently. The facts are there, but he's still defending it. You know, because we are the people, not 7 individuals in opposition. They don't have enough force. It's all the people of the country have to get together with them. And the churches is one of the people that betray the country. They sit down there and not say anything. They are crooks in the country. Thank you.
Morning to you too. Hello. Hello. Morning. Good morning. Hello.
Thank you.
Yes, hello. I guess I'm missing a few phone calls there. Hello.
Yes, Matt. Good morning, Matt. Matt, listen. If the Workers' Party people are going to take the street of Dominica, Matt, the Labour Party them should take the street of Dominica. The Labour Party supposed to take the street of Dominica because it's going to affect every Dominicans, Matt. Not Workers' Party supporters alone. Trouble.
Good morning. Hello.
Yes, what's going on, my brother? What's good? What's happening?
My brother, how you doing?
Yeah, I listened to the letter, which I very much appreciated, that the letter Mr. Linton sent for the Prime Minister. But like the caller said, one thing that's missing, you should have given him a date. You got to resign by that date or else. You know what I'm saying? Because too many issues are going on. I met a friend in New York at my cousin's house, and he said, yo, man, don't tell me about Q. And I thought he had something against Q or the opposition. The man said, no. I was 19 years old. Only my mother knew that I threw stones. And now there's several issues going on the island. You know, everybody just want to talk. He said that's why he don't listen, because too many talking. He said 1979 about one issue and they took to the streets. Now there's several issues, reason why they have to take to the streets. And no one wants to make that move. Everyone just talking. So
it's too much talking for you, huh? All right, hello. We'll take a few more phone calls. I will join the UE and speak to the face-to-face courses coming up from February 13th to May 12th. Coming up. Hello? Nobody there. Hello?
Good morning, Matt.
Good morning.
How are you doing today, Matt?
Okay.
Matt, let me say to you, I am asking one question this morning. What would Dominicans do and feel if Donald Trump decides to put a ban on Dominicans, those with green card, residing in the Virgin Islands and in America? How would the Dominicans who rely on boxes and barrels monthly from the Virgin Islands or the U.S. territories, how would they feel this morning, Matt, if Donald Trump would implement some order and say, we will not accept Dominicans holding green cards or visas to enter the United States? Matt, let me say to you, again, I am calling on Dr. Kenneth Daru, Kevin McIntyre, and all these individuals who were in Malaysia with that bogus MyDominica, TreyHouse.com. They are responsible as much as Roosevelt Skerritt for what they have done to Dominica. But there is no reason why labor rights, true labor rights, independence, freedomites, UWPIs, they all should band together and give Skerritt an ultimatum and say, if you do not step down on X date, we will be out in force and shut the government down and force you and your cohorts out of town. And when I say out of town, not out of the country, but step down from being the government. You are no longer having the moral support, having the guts to run the country as a country ought to be run. So I am asking again, how will Dominica feel if Donald Trump decides tomorrow Dominicans holding visas and passports are not allowed to enter the United States and its territories? Thank you, Matt.
Thank you. We'll come back to talk at the top of the hour. As I said to you, I will bring to you the latest blog indicating that, there's been some contact with the U.S. Embassy by somebody within the Attorney General's office. That's what the blog is indicating this morning. Let me see if I can read to you just the top. U.S. Embassy notified of Dominican intent to cooperate in the Skerrit Monfared investigation. Dominica, we're going to come back. We'll talk at the top of the hour. This is The Hot Set.
The Showdown Mass Camp is on again this Friday at the Hallam Plaza.
This week's theme is
Pirates of the Caribbean. Dress in your pirate's outfit and join the fun
at Showdown Mass Camp. Featuring Checo,
Bob, Benno, Size,
Leona, Picklock, Triumph,
Judgment,
Inciter, Sunproof,
Chelsea,
Trinity, King Dice, and more.
Come get prize and surprises.
This Friday, 9 p.m. till at the Hallam Plaza.
9 p.m. till at the Hallam Plaza.
Sponsored by Fine Foods Inc., Continental Store, Neo Expressions Inc., VF Inc., Caribbean, Singwalla Bloomquist Williams, Dr. Renata and Glenn,
You must not miss this one. Showdown Mass Camp this Friday.
Don't miss it. This is Leona.
By popular demand, Stedham 10 presents Volume 4, Stedham Meets Carnival on Saturday, February 4th, 9 p.m. at the Strip Lale Coco. Saturday, February 4th, right after the grand opening of Carnival, a night of Bacchanal Carnival Lego Jacket. Who will be the first ever Stedham Jesters Monarch for a grand prize of $500? Walk Sock Unwanted DBS Mighty Jack Lady V. Stedham Meets Carnival, also Stedham Calypsonians, and the Bad Boys from Lapwet First Serenade. Legend! Stedham Meets Carnival, Lapoca with Sensei, Bwabwa, TG Girls, Carib Girls, Mapao Girls. Bacchanal Classics by General Natty Spencer, Dino and more. Hold my thing and do something. Saturday, February 4th, after Carnival opening. Stedham Meets Carnival at the Strip Lale Coco from 9 p.m. Partners include Digicel Headline Sponsor, Caribbean Big and Soccer Rum, Domlek, Dominican National Lotteries, Media 7-Eleven Plus and Millions Bar and Green, Mapao, Petro Caribico, Vibes Radio, Fine Foods, ACSQ 95 FM, The Signman, Simon's Visual Arts, Carrier FM, DBS Radio, Mapping 2K4, T-Bex Cola, TNO, Stedham Meets Carnival, Saturday, February 4th, Star Gamer.
All right, Dominica, we're here and we're here to talk for a few minutes with UWI Open Campus. This is not the first time, and I'm sure it won't be the last time. Let me allow the panelists around the table to say good morning. Let's start with the lady. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Matt.
Could you bring the microphone a little? Yes, too. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right.
Good morning, Matt. And good morning, listeners. It's a hot Tuesday. My name is Deanna Noel. I'm the Senior Admin Assistant with the Open Campus Dominica and with the Office of the Director of the Open Campus Countrysides. And I have my colleague, Barry Kazimi. He'll introduce himself. And today we have a special person in the studio. We have one of our tutors. We're talking about our face-to-face courses, and one of the tutors will be tutoring the class. Mr. Wilf Talbot is also with us this morning. Barry?
Pleasant good morning to all. My name is Barry Kazmi, and I'm responsible for finance. I'm the Senior Administrative Assistant at the UWI Open Campus Dominica.
Hi, morning Dominica. My name is Wilf Talbot. I'm recently returned to Dominica, having been away for a while. Management professional working with the UWI campus to see how we can improve things for our participants.
All right. Welcome, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You going to start it off?
I can start it off.
All
yes.
right.
So
okay.
Today we're talking again about our face-to-face courses, which we're becoming a popular staple on the hot seat. We're talking again about our face-to-face courses, and this time we're talking about those that we're introducing in February from the 13th and running up to May. So the last time we were here, Barry, we spoke about courses that ended in December, and today we're talking about a new set of courses beginning February 13th, just about a week or so away. And today we're offering 6 courses. We'll talk about them in detail, but just to mention what they are: project management. I'm sure that is one that we're all looking forward to. A number of participants will be looking forward to that. Advanced supervisory management, introduction to counseling, introduction to customer service experience, economics of procurement, and there's one more I think I might not have mentioned. I believe it is the advanced supervisory management. So
Did you mention customer service? Did I miss this? All right, okay, I missed that.
So it is 6 of them, and we're very happy to be introducing them today.
All right, so let's take them one by one. As you said, economics of procurement, project management, advanced human resource management, introduction to counseling, advanced supervisory management, and customer service. Let's deal with the economics of procurement as we move forward.
Okay, I will take this one as well. This one is sort of a follow-up. As a matter of fact, there is an entire course built of or comprising 4 modules that we introduced last semester. When we came here the last time, we spoke about the introduction to procurement. That's the first module in this program, procurement, and we introduced introduction to procurement in September last year, and we have a cohort of students who are graduating and receiving their certificates on Thursday for having completed that module. The second module is the economics of procurement. That starts from February 13th, and I must pause to say that if students have not done the first module, that is fine. We encourage them to do the economics of procurement if they're interested. The course was designed mainly to expose those who participate in it to understand some main economic and management themes underlying effective management of procurement and the procurement function. And some of these include total cost of ownership, economics of framework agreements, and contract bundling, among a number of things. The participants will define and relate to the terminologies used in procurement. They will link procurement functions to other organizational functions. So you have the finance function, you have the HR function, and how does the procurement team procure the needs of each of the divisional functions within an organization. Students will explain and link stages in procuring items in the procurement process. They will evaluate best practices in procurement. They will discuss contract management process and identify procurement records, manage records, assets, inventory, etc. So it's the full gamut of procuring items on behalf of an organization for the various departments within the organization. So if you buy or procure for your business or for somebody's business for whom you work, that program is important for you. If you have an employee who's responsible for procurement, you want to make sure that they actually have the qualification and the skill and the appropriate learning. So we're very proud of this program. It's the economics of procurement, and it's for all those who aspire to become procurement professionals or those who already work in the profession.
All right, course number 2, project management.
Well, project management, we're hoping that a lot of people who are into projects do that course. In that course, we are going to teach people the different frameworks, the processes, and help them in the knowledge areas in project management in response to the new global changing standards. A lot has changed in project management over the years, and this course will enable students to actually work with these changes and help develop best project management procedures to ensure that the project does well. You would realize that there are a lot of projects happening right now, projects in a lot of different areas. So this course will actually assist in developing, helping you develop best practices when having projects.
All right, we're going back to you now. Advanced human resource management.
Oh, this one I like. Actually, I like topics that have to do with HR.
Okay.
We were talking about what Barry said. You'll talk about this one, right, Barry? So yes, this is another one that we're offering, not for the first time. A lot of you listening to us probably remember years ago we introduced HR and we offered it during the summer, and we just recently introduced the Advanced HR Resources Management. We're calling it HR Management 2. It's actually the advanced course from the basic HR course. And if you've done the basic, it's good for you. If you've not done the basic and you have some experience in HR, perhaps you look after staff issues or you manage or supervise staff, you have to know, you have to have the basics plus the advanced information about to manage the human resource of the business organization. HR Management 2 really looks at the fact that HR is no longer about just paying salaries and dispensing benefits and managing vacation days or managing leave. You know, it has to do with understanding that the environment is now different and it's fast changing, and the HR professional must be able to recruit, select, train the skills that are needed in our organization. It must understand the organization, where it's going, what its cost base is, what its budget is, what skills they need to bring the organization to a place where it achieves its objectives. And the HR person must be able to select and train people to be able to achieve the goals of the organization. You know, people are really what brings the money in the business. So the course looks at a general overview of HR. It looks at HR strategic planning. So if you're in HR, you can actually develop a strategic plan for your business. It looks at recruitment, selection, training and development, employee relations, contract of employment, how to develop a contract, employee relations, like laws and what laws govern the employee's rights and the employer's rights, etc. So it's a very comprehensive program, and we encourage those who are in HR, who do HR, who supervise people, who supervise a business, or who aspire to become an HR professional. That program is for them.
To actually piggyback on what Mrs. Noel is saying, we would also like people who want to enter the field of HR to do that course. If, for example, you want to do a bachelor's in HR or you want to do a master's in HR, that course could be seen as a good springboard. You do it and you see whether you want to really go into the area of HR, because HR ought to be a buffer between management and employees. So you that course will give you a good idea as to what HR is about and whether you want to go into that area.
That's brilliant, Barry. And Barry used the word, it's a B word.
Buffer.
He said buffer, but I like broker though. You know, the broker between the employee and manager. So he's the one who understands both sides and makes sure that there's a win-win for both.
Introduction to counseling.
Counseling.
That you said like that's your thing, huh?
Yes, as a matter of fact, it's interesting. I have not done this at all, the course, and I probably should look at doing it myself. We're really proud of the Introduction to Counseling course. It's taught by Mr. Thomas Holmes, a very qualified counselor in Dominica. He's been counseling for the government for a number of years. I'm counseling schools and students in schools and their parents, etc. And he's teaching that class. Introduction to Counseling is not new. It's been running for the last 2 years or so, and we've seen a number of students going into the intro and the advanced, which we completed last semester. But this semester, we're introducing Introduction to Counseling for anybody who does counseling, whether you're in a church and you speak to youth, you might be a pastor, you might be in the village council, and you know about people's issues. They come to you, they talk to you about their issues, and you want to know how to properly and effectively advise. We advise people when they come to us about different problems, their home problems, the children problems, how to deal with circumstances at work, in the school environment, at home, and almost everybody is a counselor. If people come to you and they ask you a question about life in general and how to deal with problems and issues, you become a counselor. And how do you become certain or sure that what you're telling somebody is actually a qualified assessment of the problem and how to resolve it? And we welcome a number of people across the entire Dominica. Once you feel that you have the skill to advise and encourage people and improve people so they develop, you need to get the skills, and Introduction to Counseling offers that.
Even to continue to do what Mrs. Newell is saying, think of how important counselors were during Erica. And also I would encourage a lot of teachers to read that course, because quite often you have students who really require some level of counseling, given the nature of how our society has become. I think that is a good area for teachers. Last year, I believe we had a priest.
Yes, we had. Yes, as a matter of fact, we had a priest last year.
Counseling. So I think it's something that pastors could look into.
We had a few pastors as well. Yes, I remember two who were in the course last semester.
Exactly. So that is one good area I believe a lot of people could go into.
Advanced supervisory management?
Yes, that course is basically for people who are into supervisory area, who are into mid-level management, or even at the supervisory level. It will basically assist supervisors in motivating staff, proper ways of motivating staff, help them understand the whole nature of supervisory, improve mastery of communication skills when dealing with staff, analyzing the organizational behavior based on a variety of different theories and perspectives at the micro level, and also the application of complex settings of public-private organizations, understanding strategies for initiating effective organizational change, such as private and public productivity improvement. That course also go into the theories into that will help, that are discussed in the context of private and public corporate agencies.
I like that. Good stuff, Barry. So last semester we did the
first part of it,
right?
And many of the students thought that was a very good class. We're hoping that many of the students who did the first part of the supervisory management could continue the advanced supervisory management.
As a matter of fact, there was one student who came to the site yesterday and she said she was going to move on to the advanced. And while you were talking, Barry, I heard a question in my mind. Somebody listening might be asking, so what's the difference between HR2 and advanced supervisory management? And I just want to, if you're asking that question, just to clarify for you, the HR management 2 is very strategic. It will open up your mind and even bring you to a point where you can run into doing your master's degree in HR. But it even considers even the basic HR skills that you need to bring your organization to a place where it employs the best people and the best people do the best work. Supervisory management is for supervisors who supervise people, and it's strategic too, but to a less extent, there's more operational elements of the course in there that we advise people who supervise people to take up.
Last but not least, I know, of course, we have one of the facilitators, lecturers here, who will talk to us in a minute, but let's deal with customer service.
As Mark, he is the tutor.
You see, I'm moving away from him. He's the guy. All right, customer service, sir.
Yeah, customer service, as the course is titled, service and experience are two key words in the heading of the course. We're looking to do a lot of things that are traditionally taught in customer service courses, but also looking to make a difference this year in terms of taking the participants towards where the service industries is going, focusing a lot more on what the customer experience is as part of service. Customer service is part of the whole customer's experience. If I come into your store and you have a large facility with a car park, you may have a security personnel that directs me where to park. You may have someone stacking shelves in the store. You'd have a cashier. You may have someone who opens the door for me when I leave. You may see the interaction between myself and the cashier, and that may have been excellent. But then I don't return and you're not sure why, because the interaction with the security guard in the car park was very poor. So what we're seeking to do is to get our participants to understand the wider concept of customer service as part of the overall customer experience. We'll be looking at things like what customers actually value, what customers want, what customers don't want. We'll be looking at communications, not just body language, but also non-verbal communications as well, and how those things affect the customer. We'll be looking at things like whether you have the right fit. Customer service is about having the right people in the positions. You hear a lot of persons say, I train them, I give them X, I give them Y, but it still doesn't work. Sometimes it's about not having the right persons, and we look at things like, what is the right person? Are you the right person? Do you have the right people? Because customer service sometimes doesn't work simply because
So there's a wrong and right person.
not necessarily wrong and the right person.
No, I'm saying, is there a wrong and right person?
There are persons who naturally have a better fit for interacting and managing persons. They tend to be more patient, they tend to be more empathetic, and they tend to have a better rapport with other persons. There are persons who are not as good as that, but they're excellent at other things. So sometimes it's about saying, well, the interaction wasn't very good, not because this is not a good person, but because this person may not be the best person for this particular role. So sometimes we need to look at that as well. So we will look at things like what the customers value, what the customers want. We'll be looking at things like emotional intelligence and how today that is playing a role in the whole experience. We'll be looking at things like Dominica's saying tourism is now going to be one of the main drivers for the economy. What do we do with our visitors when they arrive? Apart from the fact that when they're in front of us, what is the whole experience and what part do we play in that experience? So we're looking at traditional customer service, but also taking a more global umbrella view of where the experience is going.
Is the customer always right?
Short answer, no. But the customer should always be treated with respect and not made to be feel that they are wrong.
Yes, that's such a good one. I remember my old days at Lime, and when staff would ask, is the customer always right? I said the customer must leave the office without feeling that he's wrong. And you can't say it any different. And when you talked about fit, and you asked him about the right person, and all I'm thinking of, is about finding the right skills and training and honing the right skills. Because
well, we're not trained that way, are we?
That's what we need to do. We need to train people now in the workplace, in organizations, in businesses, in shops, in at WeChurch, and at Domlake and at Dowasco. We need to train people now to recognize where the right skills are, the right aptitudes are. So to find them and to sharpen those aptitudes.
Just to share with you something, a lot of companies now who are driven by service, when they interview persons now, the focus tends to be a lot on getting the right person with the right attitude, because I can always train once you have the right attitude.
Exactly.
All right, let's take a phone call. I know we don't have too much time. This can go on and on, but let's take a phone call. Morning, yeah.
Thanks for taking my call. I'm a little concerned as to the direction that the UE is taking, because it's years now we have seen that science is not taking a forefront, like agriculture and technical areas where you encourage people to learn to be creative. We've seen a trend where you're teaching people to be of service, which is really good. It's as part of the society, but we want because UE is the highest center of learning. We expect it to be well covered with all aspects of development. And we listening and we waiting for when you come up with other packages like agriculture, the creativity in agriculture, what we do with our produce, how far we can make it within the science of agriculture. And this in itself will not only make us want to be working in a shop or working in the tourist sector because everybody cannot be there, but we want training for other aspects, for us to be more refined in everything we do, even in other areas apart from service. I hope you get my point, but there's a need to be more well-rounded in UE because UE is the highest center.
But these are just more certificate courses, though, not degree-based courses. Do you get the drift?
Yeah, those are certificate courses. But even Matt, we had a course last year in agriculture.
Go ahead.
The problem is that not many people registered for that course. And more we are actually doing a lot of courses that are more technical based. Even the customer service course that Mr. Talbot is talking about, it is very practical. Most of our short courses are very, very practical. It's not a situation where they teach you to they are not basically theory. They are not theory based. They teach you the theory and they give you practical examples that you can implement in your work. To this end, the programs become more practical for the participant, and it's better. They are better able to utilize whatever skills. And you have to realize too, the world has moved into a service enterprise right now as compared to before. A lot has changed now. So the university must move with those changes. In terms of science, we are hoping one day we can move into that direction. But even with science, you need a lab, you need a lot of different things, infrastructure. So you have those you can facilitate those sort of courses. But we have moved. I think we did the last course we did was something in food preparation. So we're even moving into TVET areas. So
technical vocation. Just to say quickly though, we appreciate the comment from the caller. We do understand her point. Twice we offered an introduction to agriculture. It was taught by a very highly qualified member of the agricultural division, Talifa Loda. Unfortunately, not a lot of people. As a matter of fact, more than twice, Barry, registered. We had a country conference
I think if we got 10 people, we got a lot.
Yes.
And that shows where the country is moving. We are moving into a service economy as opposed to an agriculture.
But we're not losing though the fact that agriculture is important. Last year we had a country conference.
But no doubt, agriculture is very important.
Well, agriculture was the main theme. So a good point, caller. We will continue to look at the market and see where we can reintroduce agriculture as part of our courses. We have in the past. It's not available right now, but something that we will continue to look at.
Of course.
All right, thank you very, very much here. I mean, we can go on and on and on, but let's look at the prerequisites. People may be asking, what are the prerequisites to enter these courses?
Interest.
I like that.
And a willingness to learn. We ask students, if you're 16 years old and you want to participate, you are absolutely welcome. Talking about cost.
Cost, yes.
Each of the course, with the exception of the procurement, economics of procurement, it's $600. The economics of procurement, because it is a 10-week program, it's $450. Students or participants are to pay at the FCIB bank, and you pay the $600. You give the teller your name, and you tell the teller that this is for one of our local programs, the UE local programs. The account number is 1462810.
1462810. So just go to
the First Caribbean Bank. You pay $600. You give the teller your name, and you tell them that's for one of our face-to-face courses or local program courses, and you give them the account number 1462810. And you pay your $600.
Yes, and if you're listening and you're asking about payment plans, they are available. We ask you to come and visit us at the site on Emsall Road and talk to us about a payment plan if you cannot make the advanced payment up front.
What days are we talking about?
Barry will just mention the courses. I can say the HR Management 2 will be run Tuesdays and Thursdays from 4:30 to 6 o'clock. HR Management 2, Human Resource Management 2 from 4:30 to 6 o'clock. Project Management Mondays and Wednesdays from 5:30 to 7 o'clock on Mondays and 4:30 to 6 o'clock on Wednesdays. Barry, you can just take the rest.
Introduction to Counseling. Introduction to Customer Experience. That course will be on the Tuesday, 4:30 to 6 o'clock. That's Mr. Wilf Talbot will be teaching that course. And on Thursday from 4:30 to 6 o'clock. Advanced Supervisory Management would be on a Monday, 5:30 to 7 o'clock. And on a Thursday, 4:30 to 6 o'clock. Economics of Procurement would be on 5:30 to 7 o'clock on the Monday. And on Wednesday, 4:30 to 6 o'clock.
Okay, the schedule, we published the schedule, but it may change. We may need to change to accommodate maybe a large cohort may not be available on a day or a tutor, but we expect to run the schedule as it has been explained. If you're listening and you're interested we hope you are interested in registering, you can visit our site to register, or you can go online at our website. It is www.open.ue.edu/Dominica. Look for local programs and select the program of your choice. Again, we're offering this semester from February 13th, Project Management, Advice Supervisory Management, Introduction to Counseling, Introduction to Customer Service Experience, HR Management 2, and Economics of Procurement. The last one being 10 weeks, the other 5 13 weeks long.
And if they need more information, of course, our time has come and gone. Who do you call?
You call the office. 448-3182 is our number, and our staff will be very happy to assist you.
Thank you very much, Yui. I'm hoping that we'll see you again soon.
Yes, you will.
Thank you.
But thank you too. I mean, you sounded almost like a breath of fresh air this morning on the issue of customer relations. You are with a good team. All right, congratulations. And I'm sure this customer service course there will get a lot of response. We need it.
Yes. I think we need to change our culture, or we deal with customers.
Yeah. Well, just to say,
yes,
very briefly, one of the things we will be looking at on the course as well is a short element on culture and service and how it affects service.
Thank you. All right. We have been having some discussions on customer service. Maybe someday soon, before the course begins, I'll invite you back. Thank you very much, so we can talk about customer relations and, of course, bring up the awareness of what we need to do or not do in Dominica. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
All right, thank you.
By popular demand, Stardom 10 presents Volume 4, Stardom Meets Carnival on Saturday, February 4th, 9 p.m. at the Strip Lale Coco. Saturday, February 4th, right after the grand opening of Carnival, a night of Bacchanal Carnival Lego Jacket. Who will be the first ever Stardom Jesters Monarch for a grand prize of $500? Walk Sock Unwanted DBS Mighty Jack Lady V. Stardom Men's Carnival, also Stardom Calypsonian, and the Bad Boys from Lapwet First Serenade. Legend! Stardom Men's Carnival, Lapoca with Sensei, Boaba, TG Girls, Carib Girls, Mapao Girls. Bacchanal Classics by General Natty Spencer, Dine One More. Hold my thing and do something. Saturday, February 4th, after Carnival opening. Stardom Men's Carnival at the Strip Lale Coco from 9 p.m. Partners include Digicel Headline Sponsor, Caribbean Big and Soccer Rum, Domlek, Dominica National Lotteries, Media 7-Eleven Plus, and Millions Bar and Green. Mapao, Petro Caribbean Court, Vibes Radio, Fine Foods, ACSQ 95 FM, The Signman, Simon's Visual Arts, Carrier FM, DBS Radio, Mapping 2K4, T-Pex Cola Lab, TNO, Stardom Men's Carnival, Saturday, February 4th, San Kaima.
First, Dominica, I did tell you that we'll be sharing the latest information on the blog. I told you that the U.S. Embassy, according to the latest information on the financial crime blog by Kenneth Rejock, the U.S. Embassy notified of Dominican intent to cooperate in this Carrot Monferrat investigation. Kimberly Benjamin is taking a closer look at the latest. Good morning, Kimberly, again.
According to inside sources, a female caller who stated that she was with the chambers of the Attorney General of Dominica, Levi Peter, contacted the United States Embassy in Bridgetown, Barbados, and advised that her office intended to cooperate with U.S. authorities in the ongoing investigation involving Prime Minister Roosevelt Scarrett and the Iranian nationals Ali Reza Monfared, Babak Zanjani, and Reza Zarab. The question remains exactly whom is the Attorney General acting for? Only two choices are possible. The Prime Minister, the fact that he is under investigation has now been verified and he may wish to cooperate. Two, other senior individuals in the government of Dominica who obviously do not want the reputation of their country dragged through the mud due to a possible criminal indictment of their head of state. Before you say it cannot happen, it might be well to note that the United States is not shy about bringing criminal charges against the leaders of Caribbean countries. We remember the cases against former Chief Minister Norman Saunders of the Turks and Caicos Islands and General Manuel Noriega. Saunders was arrested while he came to Miami after pocketing a huge bribe, as Noriega was arrested after Panama was invaded by the U.S. military. It is, of course, possible for the Prime Minister to receive immunity from prosecution in exchange for his substantial assistance, which may involve a testimony at trial in U.S. District Court in New York. A plea agreement, however, he might be compelled to disgorge an illicit income that he received as a result of his role in obtaining a Dominican diplomatic passport for Monfarad. The Prime Minister is said to maintain substantial bank accounts outside of Dominica, and he could be required to surrender control of those assets, which we are aware of, and which will be the subject of our next story from Dominica.
Thank you again. Thank you. Thank you, Kimberly. Note the last part of that story. The Prime Minister is said to maintain substantial bank accounts outside of Dominica, and he could be required to surrender control of those assets, which we are aware and which will be the subject of our next story from Dominica. Stay tuned. Dominica, it's getting more interesting by the minute. Let's take a few phone calls. Of course, we'll be talking to the farmers in a few minutes as well. Hello, talk to me.
Morning, Matt.
Morning, sir.
Hey.
Hello, talk to me here.
Mr. Pelton.
Uh-huh.
Blessings for you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very interesting times, Matt, in which we are living. And I want to commend the leader of the opposition for this letter and the ultimatum we may be calling for. We just allow maybe more and more things to unfold. You hear the story, you'll just breaking there based on the blog.
Uh-huh.
Kenneth Ridjock again, Matt?
Yes, again.
Okay, so for what I have heard, he's a criminal, and the Gunny Manuel person that was accused was a criminal. So criminals can speak true. Former criminals, Matt, they know the man is a man operating in his legal business, Matt. Isn't that so?
Mm-hmm.
He's no longer a criminal. So it is strange. We may be hastening it, but we have waited for many years. We may just have to wait for a few more weeks or months, if need be, for us to allow the pressure the pressure will be brought to bear on them so heavily. Then red, blue, green, and no color at all will just say, yes, I'm going downtown. Yes, I'm going to do A, B, or C. Matt, they are going down, and no amount of threat. Look, I hear in this morning there, the senior clown, sorry, Matt, saying he's going to sue Q95, sue Lennox Linton. They're going to sue everybody that's talking about these stories, Matt. I just had to bring it out based on what I am saying. I telling you, they're listening to him. While I took a break, you took a break to go to the UE, they're listening. And the food and the breaking story, Matt. And everybody rejoicing, they're going to sue Linton and the opposition and Q95.
What are they suing for?
For the lies about the Prime Minister. That's it. All the lies on the Prime Minister. So, Matt, Dominicans have to, it's a balloon or bomb.
So why don't they sue Kenneth Ridjock?
CBS, Homeland Security, and all these international organizations and individuals that can come out and disclose this information. They are turning a blind eye to it and feeding on the ignorance of Dominicans, some Dominicans, that they're going to sue Linton, they're going to sue Q95. And that is where these people think they're in quicksand and they will just start wiggling, and they'll find their way out. Matt, it's just a matter of time. Thank you.
Hello, 912. That's a laugh this morning. Hello, talk to me.
Hi, Matt. Good morning. How are you?
Morning to you, yes.
Matt, I just want to say a pleasant day to you. Matt, I haven't called your radio station in a while because, Matt, I am so fed up with what is going on. But, Matt, in everything give thanks. And can you please play that song for me, Matt? Bayo Baba Lenny Manuel, because I know it is working. and it's just a matter of time and patience. Let me see who's going to sue now. Have a blessed day.
Hello, talk to me. Hello.
Good morning, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, I'm listening with interest. And the issue about suing, Matt?
Yes, I heard that. I'm just hearing that Tony Senior Counsel is threatening suits.
That is chaotic. You know, Lennox has been made to pay some monies in the past, and one would think if you start throwing the suit up, you'll get drunk.
But you're not afraid of this kind of threats, are you?
That is garbage as far as I'm concerned. If you're giving stuff that are well researched, and will be exploding in their face, how are they going to sue, you know? But let me just tell you something. I hear caller always calling for Kenneth Darrow and whoever to speak out. Kenneth Darrow was one of the most outspoken ministers that would challenge Skerrit now and then. You remember? But Skerrit is so much of an intelligent guy that perhaps, his intelligence, he uses it a different way. But Skerrit decided nobody's staying in his government and challenge him. I do it off all your hands. He'd bring him up to Malaysia and have his hands inside everything, get set up. And here it is. Kenneth cannot talk anymore. Same thing with Vince. He did the same thing with Vince when Vince was a minister. He ensured that everybody here get a chance to dirty their hands. He dirty their hands. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So in a nutshell, nobody can squeal on him. Nobody can go and talk about what he's doing. Nobody can stand up to him because your hands dirty too. So the issue about suing is just chaotic, man. This administration, has lost all its legitimacy. And, things cannot continue to go on, man. Everything closing in on them fellas. Soon you will not be able to make a transaction. That's bus drivers that call in and try to threaten people who want to labor rights. They must understand they will not even be able to send their money up to Japan soon. Because all banks will just be shutting down on them. We're not going anywhere forward in that issue. The country is tainted now, and the country is not going to go anywhere. It is time for Roosevelt Skerrit to take his money and leave. Let the country breathe a breath of fresh air. You become a millionaire overnight. What did you want again? You just want to hold on to power for holding on to power, sir? When these guys try to threaten people, nobody should take them on. I'm not saying people should go and fight and get on foolishly, but we have to come up on the streets and ensure that the administration get out and get out peacefully. Because at the end of the day, the country going to fail, the country going to fall. They themselves have all the papers to go wherever. What about the poor people, children that they are making themselves kunumunus, supporting a prime minister, care nothing about them? We'll come and give you a little peanuts, cannot create employment for you. You have to keep begging every day. Matt, enough is enough, and that must stop. And I call in again on the powers that be, even the police force. When you are called to turn your guns on the people of Dominica, innocently, you must disobey that order. It will be an illegal order, and you must ground your arms when the issue of the removal of this government comes. Nobody wants violence in the country. But if the government has to go, they have to go. If people doing their peaceful demonstration, the police must not interfere with them. We see he take some of his tired supporters and put them in charge of certain areas in the police force because they feel that they will come out there and try to terrorize people, but at the end of the day, police cannot terrorize people. If the whole country stand up, there's nothing the police can do because the country not creating problem. The people not going to create problem. You walk on the street as your democratic right. And I believe the police should protect the people of Dominica and not come there to fight them for a corrupt administration. So what, in a nutshell, keep the fight. I guess as the day go by, if once the U.S. see you corrupt, they will infiltrate your system and they'll pinch out and throw out every single thing that can stir up unrest to take you out of government. That's my contribution.
Thank you very much. If anybody out there would know the number of Kenneth Ridgeup there, this international criminal investigator, please send to me, okay? I'd like to have a personal conversation with this guy there in Miami doing a lot of work in the background there. Again, so if you have his number, please contact me on 225-6417. I'd like to have a conversation with this guy writing all these blogs about Dominica. So if you do know him and do know his number, feel free to send it to me, okay? 918. I think it's time we have a conversation with this guy. Thank you very much. For 49309596 and 97. Hello.
Yes, good morning, Matt. How are you, sir?
Yes, sir.
Matt, first of all, I'd like to make it clear that we, the people of the Margaret constituency, stand with our leader, Honorable Lennox Linton, as the parliamentary representative and leader of the opposition. For years now, this gentleman has been speaking to the people of Dominica, and the government itself has been ignoring everything that the leaders of the opposition, many others, have been saying. Today, it is in their faces. There's nothing, Matt, nothing that they can do. They can threaten, they can say what they want. Nothing is going to stop the butts from getting what they have to get, Matt. The second thing is, Mr. Tony Astapans, who has been talking about suing, it is important to let him know that any time Skerrit goes down, he too will be going down also. And he, I've always said, is the one directly responsible for causing Honorable Skerrit to be in the situation which he is today. Because he has been misinforming this man, he has been advising him wrongly, and therefore caused this country to be the chaos in which it is. Tony Astapans will have to pay the very same price, just as Mr. Skerrit. And he must understand that. And no kind of threat that he brings is going to intimidate us. They cannot get us scared. And not those things that they're talking about cannot just get us scared. We are going to be very strong. And I'm calling on the people of Dominica to be prepared to stand on the streets of Dominica to defend your country. The government itself has been involved in all illegal activities. It's still calling on the people of Dominica to support them in the illegal activities. We who are righteous and standing for this country, we have a right to stand in the country for our people. We need to do things on behalf of the righteous people of this country. Matt, Dominica is in a very serious problem. And I'm calling on all right-thinking Dominicans to make up their minds. It will be hard, but we will be successful. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello, good morning, Matt.
To you, sir.
Yes, how are you doing?
Okay.
You know, Matt, God is not sleeping, And the truth, as we always know, will set you free. You know, Matt, it's not too long that we heard that the Prime Minister was in Vietnam. And, people was wondering, but Vietnam is a poor country. They had war. They fighting to really see how they're going to survive. People was asking what the Prime Minister is doing in Vietnam. He come back from Vietnam and he never disclosed, he never say anything that substantial to the Dominica that he get in Vietnam. Now we hearing that those same old boats that they registered on Dominica's name to carry oil from Iran to all over. One of them is seized in Vietnam with Dominica flag and registered in Dominica, Matt. So you see all the connection. So I myself having a new name for Skerrit, If he escaped those things, I myself have to baptize him and give him the name MacGyver. Because I cannot believe a young man in a country can do those kind of things and citizens of the country still sitting down and, supporting those kind of things. I mean, when they call in Lennox Linton traitor, and we have so many traitors in this country that really are polling a prime minister that bringing our country down to the gutters and still standing up and beating their chest and say they're supporting the prime minister. But I know, as I said, the truth will set you free, and we seeing the chicken are coming home to roost. All the information is falling one on top the other. And I am saying, if that young man have any dignity left in him, the only honorable thing he can do is to resign with his cabinet. Because, Matt, in the absence of that, it will have chaos, it will have trouble in this country. Because I don't believe good thinking Dominican will sit by after all 17 years we have been going through this kind of difficulties. And now that the evidence is right in front of us, that we will sit down and let Skerrit continue to destroy our country, that our future generation will not have a country to live in. I think the time is now. I am supporting Gabriel Christian. I am supporting the Honorable Lennox Linton, that Skerrit and his cabinet must resign, and having a national committee to really take care of the country, to organize for election and what have you. But Skerrit and his cabal need to go now.
One of those in the diaspora following this developments very closely is Dr. Dale Dangleben. He spoke at the meeting in Langon via Skype last Thursday. He's on the line with me at this point. Dr. Dale, good morning.
Hey, good morning to you, Matt. How are you this morning?
I see you continue to follow the developments in Dominica, sir.
Yes, I have to. I mean, this is disheartening. What is it going to take for the people to rise up? What is it going to take for the people to take to the streets and ask and demand answers? There is way too much evidence out there, and this is coming down. This is not just going to affect one person. This is going to affect the country. This is going to affect everyone trying to travel on a visa or the Dominican passport. It's laughable. Tony Astafan has now become a clown. Tony Astafan has now become a joke. He wants to sue people. Let him go ahead and sue me. I have already engaged my attorney up there. Tell Tony I think it's very laughable what he's proposing to do. It's desperation. That's what it is. I'm calling on the Dominican people. I am calling on the Dominican people. This is it. Dominica has been destroyed. I mean, hundreds of millions of dollars, yet he can go to Parliament and not give that financial report. We found out that 275 ships registered to Dominica. Why wasn't that discussed in Parliament? There are so many things that need to be answered. The people need to take to the street and shut down the country.
Tell me, what are you reading on this Kenneth Rijok guy, this investigator?
Well, it's interesting because I think everyone deserves a second chance, and everyone is happy on the fact that this guy, was a criminal, et cetera, et cetera. That is really not the point of argument here. I think what he blogs is legit. And we have to take it into context of everything else. Folks are trying to bury their heads in the sand and pretend that these criminals were not in Dominica for months living. It does not make sense that you revoke a guy's passport and he's sitting in Dominica for months, whining and dining with you. We need explanations. The people on the ground need to demand explanations. Forget about Kenneth, whatever. The point is the information is there. And we know that it happened, and we know that there are monies being hidden from the Dominican Treasury.
All right, Dale Dangleben, I know you're a very busy guy. I'm going to allow you to go, but we'll make contact with you sometime later today or tomorrow. All right? Thank you for joining us this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ready for the Caribbean's most original carnival, Dominica's Carnival, Mass Dominic 2017, February 4th to the 28th. Revel in the splendor of a masquerade band. Experience the parade, the non-stop fets, Dominica Nights, Dominique Du, Mass Dominic, the real mass. Come, revel with us. Visit us online at dominicafestivals.com or call us at 767-255-8221. Come on, join in
Get ready for the Caribbean's most original carnival, Dominica's Carnival Mass Dominic 2017, February 4th to 28th. Revel in the splendor of a masquerade band. Experience the parades, the non-stop fits, Dominica Nice, Dominic Do, Mass Dominic the real mass. Come revel with us. Visit us online at www.dominicafestivals.com or call us at 767-255-8221.
Dominicans is here. Yeah, the boy music from far. It's time for the festival. Yeah, soca music tell you to come.
Are you ready for Mass 2017? Where will the beat lead you for Carnival 2017? Buyo, Kais, Okada, Soca. Register with Hysteria Mass today at 21 Hanover Street.
Have to get in because this red not missing me. It's not missing me.
Good news, good news. Come fetch with us and the Triple K International, powered by GX Songs and Lights. Hysteria Mass, your ultimate carnival experience. For Mass Dominic, you better register with them today. Sponsored by Flow.
Makes everything else possible. So how then can it be in this agricultural country? My government looks down on the farming community and places its emphasis on the tourism industry. Don't they know everything needs to solve?
Let me say good morning to the farmers. Mr. Louise in the house. Patrick is in the house. It's a Tuesday. Good morning, gentlemen. How are you doing?
We're doing fine.
You doing fine?
Morning, man.
Mr. Lee, you look a little worried this morning. Are you okay?
Yeah, I am a little worried.
You're a little worried? Yeah. What you worried about?
Worried about the news about Dominica.
Ah, so you have some concern about what is being said out there?
Concern about what is taking place in Dominica, but I'm in here.
You worried about your country?
Yeah, Dominica.
Dominica. Patrick, are you worried?
Yes, you heard what Mr. Louis just said, Matt.
Tell me.
That comes from the agricultural root in the country. Look, this man is worried about what is happening. And you must realize that what Skerrit did to agriculture is not a small sin, you know, Matt. This man destabilized the whole community fabric, you know. What used to feed people and send them to school and do things for them, the man disrupted the whole life pattern by killing that industry, you know what? Because he helped to kill it. Because up to now, it's not dead. You see, they're trying to revive and to send bananas to England. So up to now, the industry that they try to kill, bananas and agriculture, is not dead, Matt. Look now, they're pleading with us that they're going to send bananas to England. But we know it won't come that way. Not the way you treated agricultural people, Matt. My father grew 10 children in Little Point, Michelle. That wasn't an agriculture nor a banana district. Yes. On steep land, this man made miracles to make bananas grow, you know, Matt. And the first little truck the man got through his son working at Public Works. You know the among the things this man did. A son working at Public Works had a jeep carrying my father's bananas, and the man maintained 10 children from this banana industry. Matt, you know what Mr. Skerrit did to bananas and did to people? The whole social fabric, the man broke up just because they thought that these farmers were more UWP supporters and they wouldn't support them. That is the first reason why they disrupted agriculture. and the whole social pattern was disrupted, and they sent these people to drive buses and to sell drugs and to prostitute their children, Matt. Matt, agriculture doesn't forget that, you know. You talking about selling of passports. No, okay, it affects every man in the island, but nobody in agriculture can forgive Skerrit for what he did, because he doesn't even ask for forgiveness. That is a capital sin on Skerrit. So we're not worried. We know the Almighty is watching. We know He's good. We know what's going to happen. It's turning around now. That same agriculture that you bled like that is going to beat you on your backside, Matt. And you're going to feel it, and feel it hard. Nothing is being forgotten through what you did to agriculture. The first industry that God gave man, He told him, look, go and take care of the soil and rear your children and multiply.
You're saying he has forgotten agriculture and selling passports. That's what you suggested?
No, Matt. He did a grievous wrong to agriculture. He killed the industry, or he helped to kill it, because it's not dead. Like I tell you, right now they're trying to send bananas to England again. Remember, you know, we had a prime minister before that, who after they left him, and after he left office, became one of the most prolific farmers of bananas. So how can you tell me you killing an industry like that, no, Matt? Brex is right, you know. Brex said in his latest thing, when he was singing what UWP did, workers, he said he cannot understand how these people voted for Labour in the song. Amen. And Brex followed it with, put the brakes on them. Had we put the brakes on these people from a long time, we would have sufficed. But you see, Dominica has forgotten the gospel of Christ, Matt. I'm saying that all the time. This is our downfall.
All right, let's take a phone call then. We're coming back. Hello, sir.
Yes, good morning.
How you doing, sir?
Yes, farmers, how long? Not long. Not long. I want you all to organize the farmers. The next movement on the road, I want to see a section of farmers on the road. I want no excuses. Organize the farmers for that next movement. I don't want to hear any excuses. I want to see a bunch of farmers on the road the next time out. It's not long. There's more things coming from foreign. This thing is going to explode in these guys' faces. Just get yourselves ready.
Thank you. How long, not long, Mr. Louis? Are you ready to get the farmers together? This caller is asking.
I thinking deeply about it. And let it be so. Let it be so. Matt, there are so many issues. But as far as God concerned, as long men and beasts are living upon this planet Earth, sowing and reaping shall never stop. Never.
Thank God.
Never. That is the word of the Lord. Matt, here I see you have a little pamphlet right before me. And I saw a little note there, pray for our priest. My dear friend, if I have to deal with that subject, I have to go deep into the Bible, and it will take me sometimes. Pray for our priest. On that programs, I sat down there one time, knowing that there was a collusion of pastors and Bishop of Roseau marching down the street of Roseau, down to Eugenia Boulevard, praying forward for the country. They collected money, which is an abomination, biblically speaking. I asked that question, how they will dish out that money, the check that had been signed, who received it, etc. Praying for the country, but you're collecting money. Now, here is an article right here. I read it for myself. I said, pray for our priest. Let me tell you, young lady, whoever wrote that, young man or big man or man, who praying for the priest is our bananas, And our plantains, our yams, our coffee, our cocoa, our coconuts, our dasheen, our tanyas. When you go on a banana field, you see they have no leaves, they just bowing down, praying, calling for help. Our plantain does the same thing. Our yams that lift up themselves off the ground and they're praying, what I have done. So to our dashing. Matt, I went to Marigot recently. I should say last Saturday. When Solpus was in the studio with you, also somebody. I heard him, I was listening. Saturday, I was. Not to see agriculture, Matt, it is not, that is where I'm worried. I'm very worried. To see a government who made a thriving industry. Patrick spoke about his father, but I am a father of 13 children with a little cutlass Dokuba. Inherited nothing from my mother. I don't blame them. I don't blame none of them. And my mother and my father, nothing. From my grandfather, from my grandmother, nothing. With a little cutlass at the age of 18, I go in the height of Salisbury, start to do farming. And I raise up 13 children. I send them to school. I send them to college. I send some to university. Every square foot of land I have, I paid for it. I bought it. I don't inherit it. I bought 11 transport already. When I was making money, as long as transport staying on my hand, 5 years, I have to sell it, buy another one. Today I am struggling, whereas I have all my properties.
To replace the vehicle.
Imagine, I lost almost every farm tools I have at home. And my kitchen was wiped off. River passed through my doors. And Matt Peltier, I am still surviving. And there's absolutely no attention was given to me.
Criminal.
I could have bought a transport. In fact, I bought one. But that is not a farm transport. That's all I can afford at the time. Because I don't want to make debt again. I don't want loan on my back. Matt Peltier, if you call my farm, the farm you know very well. January hasn't ended yet. I do not have a grapefruit and an orange for me to eat. Because the national bird called the parrots and the cicero, they take everything down. I'm worried. When I call Earl, my son, who is on the farm, I said, Earl, you don't know what is happening at the back there? I have a 6.5 acres of citrus at the back. At the front, we try to take it and leave the back for later days, like January, February, March. He said, no, Daddy. I said, well, go and see for yourselves. But every tree of oranges, everything just wiped down. When Luke, and I will not call name, when somebody called for 5,000 fruits or grapefruits, my son is going to make the 5,000, they called for another few thousand, make it. And now, I can hardly get a grapefruit from the selling Rosa from doing it. And yet, the government of Dominica never responded to me. This month will give me 84 years and 6 months. What most I can do? Tell me what most I can do. And then, what's to the effect? The roads that we are traveling on, they try to do something higher up. They destroy the road with dumpers, with 20 tons dumper going up there with tariff. The road was not catering for that. And you go there you go there now, Matt, you'll see for yourselves. And you telling me I should not worry? You know why I am confident? My Bible teaches me in John, let not your heart be troubled. But I am troubled because I'm a human being. I'm troubled because of the devastation that this present governor have done to agriculture. By deliberately, by design, destroy agriculture and everything else fall apart. And today, you are telling me we have to live on passport sale? And our passport, if what I'm hearing, I believe it from the bottom of my heart before my God, to criminals and crooks, and they are living where our prime minister is living, in Mount Daniel. They have their bank at the same ministry the prime minister of his office. These are the facts of life. And people telling us they want to sue Q95. I am part of the sue too because I'm there. Q95, Lennox, who else, whatever. I never heard them say about Angelo. Mr. Linton, I said last week or week before last, he's a rising star. And if I ever have $1 and Linton going to need that, I'll give it to him. I will go to the rivers and catch a crayfish or a seaweed. I'll go and get a crabs, whatever. I'll get a banana that praying for mercy. That is the crime that government has done to Dominica. Destroying the livelihood of Dominica. You, Matt Petty, are feeling it. There are people who have big houses, they do not know what to do with it now. Most of them are for sale, they want to run away. All you cannot run away. Nobody can escape. I said that to the big companies, I make mention of their name. When we was going down 80-degree down, I said that over and over again. I said to them, they will not escape. Because I can see what is going on. That's why I wanted to deal with Revelation chapter 6 when I never had a chance. To let people see what is going on in this country. That the things that I can see, maybe some people are not seeing it. Because only, Ephesians chapter 6. Let them quote something there. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you will be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against spirituality, evil men,
principalities
men,
and powers.
Just hold there, farmers. I've just been told there that Mr. Kenneth Rijok may be trying to make contact with me at this time. I'm going to make a break and come back to you in a minute.
Boy, you don't complain.
tell you what, you can stay tuned for 1 o'clock. I just made contact with Mr. Kenneth Rijok there, the guy writing the blogs. He's willing to talk to me in the next few hours. And you can inform, I suspect, the government operatives, those are recording, yes. O'clock. We have an appointment there. Let's go back there a little bit in history. You remember this voice, gentlemen, if you can identify it, please tell me. That was in 1979.
The public service will not work. The hospital will not work. The fire service will not work. The prison service will not work. The water department will not work. The post offices, the ports, the administrative setup will not work. The private sector unions will also keep their members out on strike. We will be prepared to stay out for as long as it takes because we believe that the lives of the people of this country must be protected against the government, which will only link itself. I mean, we have to take the government in perspective. Government is dangerous to us and dangerous to the region as a whole.
Mr. Savra in 1979 saying government is dangerous to the region as a whole. Mr. Savra, is it dangerous now? Just a question. We'll talk a little more about that. All right, let's listen again before I go back to the farmers. Let's go, Mr. Savra.
The public service will not work. The hospital will not work. The fire service will not work. The prison service will not work. The water department will not work. The post offices, the ports, the administrative setup will not work. The private sector unions will also keep their members out on strike. We will be prepared to stay out for as long as it takes because we believe that the lives of the people of this country must be protected against the government, which will only link itself. I mean, we have to take the government in perspective. Government is dangerous to us and dangerous to the region as a whole.
Thank you very much. As I said to you, you should stay close to Q905. Mr. Kenneth Rijok will be live via the telephone. You want to sit by and listen very attentively. This is the big station. Gentlemen, we are back. We are back.
But before I pass on to my colleagues here, let me say this. I said it 3 or 4 times already. Let me, by precaution, let me say 3 times already. I call on Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. Is money you want? Is money you love? Take the treasury and go about your business, because as long as you remain in that office, there will be trouble. You see it? You see where we are now? Over and over and over again, I said that. You see the trouble we are in now? Our very Prime Minister in serious fire.
But you saw that from long, you know, Louis.
You know what I'm telling you?
Saw it long.
He is in serious fire and there shall be what? No escape. No sanctuary for wicked criminals who lead us. Mr. Charles Savra, you better resign now. As our president, we have no president. You destroyed the country in 1979. And you are there drawing $30,000 every month on the back of Dominicans. And we cannot. We are the Scotland, by Scotland, sent us to suck salt. And you are the president, not a word you said.
That's right.
As our president, not a word offered from your mouth. When an international lady tell us Dominican to go and suck salt, and it didn't take long, Fret not thyself against evildoer, my dear friend. Evildoer has to be cut off. They have to pay a price because they sowed the wrong seed. And they are winning.
Sowing the wrong seed.
The wrong seed.
That's right.
And they are ripping up the wrong seed. No, I can tell you that lady now sucking salt.
Yeah.
First time I hear the Queen of England take a step against corruption and said that office is a office of transparency and truth and righteousness. And that lady bring in the disrepute because of her corruption attitude and behavior and Skerrit that put her there on her back. And Skerrit never said, okay, make an apologize.
All of them are corrupt.
Because that is a bunch of corrupt men and women. Every member of that government are corrupt from one to the next. And their advisors are so corrupt that they too will fall into the same ditch.
That's
If the blind lead the blind, both will fall into the same ditch. Dominica, it's time to open your eyes, Dominica. There is a God above who are hearing our cry. Don't pray for priests, let priests pray for you. Because the banana tree are bowing tongue, crying for help. The plantain trees are bowing tongue, crying for help. Everything that we have bowing tongue, crying for help. And there will be help. There will be help. Because from whence cometh my help, says the word of God. My help comes from the Lord. There will be help for us. We have to be rebounced again. We have to be revived again. Agriculture have to steam up again. Agriculture is what God bless us with. Plenty water, nice fertile soil. When you look at Wesley and Margaret alone can send tons upon tons upon tons upon tons of load overseas to bring back at currency.
Thank God.
Margaret and Wesley alone, and they are just sleeping giant, and we cannot move. When you go to Margaret, everybody, little boy, there's a swift, there's a little swift, everybody slowed down. Then people don't know what to do and scare it up. Millions and billions of them wasted all around the world and believe in you. Make you believe that you can only depend on me. Forget Jesus. Don't go and pray for Jesus. Where are the pastors that say Skerrit is the best prime minister ever? Where are they? What they're saying now? I am vexed, I am totally vexed to see my country become a rogue country, a lawless country. The Prime Minister himself said there is no law, no constitution. Break every fabric of what we believe in and what is supposed to guide by. And then we are in a serious dilemma.
A set of little boys, Louis, that didn't know what they were playing with people's future. You know, since that agricultural industry has been put to death by them, has been sentenced to death, there are several farmers who used to prosper and are going down in their graves, remembering those people.
The farmers crying this morning. The farmers very emotional. Let's take a phone call and we'll wrap it up. Hello.
Hello, good morning to you, Matt, and the farmers in the house.
Yes, hello.
Matt, agriculture is painful and slow death under Ricky Beaumont, the Director of Agriculture, who has so far failed to give the Minister of Agriculture proper directive. Matt, I expected Junior, birds are destroying the citrus farmers. That is a fact. A gentleman used to supply me with oranges from Monrachet. He used to harvest till May. Week before last, he gave me the last shipment. But I expected Junior, we in the Northeast, we cannot sell a bunch of plantain nor a bunch of fig. If it's not the birds that are eating them, all birds, if it's not the birds that are eating them, black Sikatoka is bringing them to their knees, the no man full. Matthias Pelte, what is the Prime Minister doing? The Prime Minister is busy like a bee, mingling with Iranian affairs. Matthias Pelte Jr., you didn't hear about Hezbollah? Hezbollah is a military organization that is funded by the Iranians. I hope Hezbollah will send guys down here to look for the money. But I believe this government is dangerous to the Dominican people. It is dangerous to the region. It is dangerous to the American national security interests. If Donald Trump do not pay attention within the next few weeks, I wonder why. I am suggesting to the Dominican people that next week going to be a very busy week in the capital city of Roseau if Mr. Skerrit fail to understand, one, Dominica is not his father's estate, and I don't know for now his father was a rich man. Two, good times is not for long. He can leave this country for us to generate the necessary economic growth. The gentleman on this program is now saying that agriculture, there is no hope in it for now. But the Prime Minister himself told us in defense of the selling of our passport that he going to Calibishi and give 150 toilets. Mat Calibishi is a small farming community with very hard working farmers. For you to tell me you're going in a small community like that has been voting Labour for more than 25 years. Your government is in power for 16 years. You have failed the people of Calibishi to generate the necessary economic growth. You go in there with toilet. Mr. Skerrit, it is time for you to go.
I'll end on that note, and of course, because it's 10 o'clock, farmers, very, very interesting times in Dominica. We'll continue next week. Thank you very much. Time for the news. Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning and welcome to Q95's morning news update for today,